How's it feel to be back in Jacksonville?
Feels great, man. This is home. Since 2009, my family has been living here. Got to see my mom and a few family members today, so happy to be back, man. And the birthplace of pot roast, man. So it's good to be home.
How did that name come about?
Just being a rookie, trying to keep my mouth shut, but a linebacker on the team, the comedian on the team gave me the nickname and told the media, and then what you guys do, y'all run with it. So that's what happened, and it stuck with me ever since.
We haven't talked to you since the scrimmage. I guess how do you feel like that went for the defensive front in general?
It was a good start. Our guys came out with the right mindset. It's never going to be good enough for me. And we had a few offsides, lined up offsides, those type of things. But our guys came out with a good mindset. Our young guys are playing well, and that's hats off to the leadership in the room. So as long as every day we're getting better. That's all I'm worried about. But at the same time, I'm in this profession to make guys better. So the mistakes, I can live with and I can coach that up. I just want our guys to go out there and play hard.
We heard that the defensive line was going good before back rush during the scrimmage. Is that your impression of it?
Yeah, downhill, they better be. They better be. I'm going to find 4 guys that could do it. And if we only got 4 guys that can do it, that's what we'll do. So our guys are honestly right now, the beauty of it is everybody in the room is competing to be out there, and it's pushing the room and it's elevating the room. And, it's been a privilege to coach those guys to our mindset is right now.
Who stepped up in terms of, not even with play necessarily, but the mindset, the ability to lead, to kind of set a tone?
It start with our big guy in the middle, man. He's become more vocal. He's become more active. As far as being a leader, speaking up. He's been a quiet guy in the past, but I've challenged him since I got here to be in a leadership role and be more vocal, and he's done that. And Jason Jenkins is vocal. James Williams is vocal, and we have a young group that that isn't shy. So it's a good blend of leadership right now, but it definitely starts with 6, our guy in the middle.
Coach White talked about the Desir brothers and Juju as well from the scrimmage performance. That group of freshmen, I guess, what are they doing to give themselves a chance to even be in the conversation this year?
Just keeping it simple for those guys. I tell guys all the time, you want to play as a freshman, know what you're doing and play hard. Know what you're doing and play hard. And those 3 are doing it. And, I think, they have a little chip on their shoulder being freshmen. And, every time they go out there, they feel like they got something to prove, and I love it. And those guys just going out there working. And, when the freshmen are playing well and playing fast, it adds a little bit of urgency to the room. And it's definitely helping the room, and it's making my job harder with the more depth that we have.
When we spoke to Juju the other day, he jokes, I'm country strong. It just kind of comes when I need it. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more than country strong. I've never seen nothing like that from a young guy. But he works, man. He works at it. He's not complacent. He's always asking questions, and it's something that he came to me, when he first got here, was like, hey, Coach, I usually just go out there and play. I want to get better as a student, in the film room and those things, and he's done that, and, the sky's the limit for him.
Jason Jenkins, obviously, he's been dealing with some injuries, but getting him back and getting him involved, just how good has that been to see him on the field?
It was great, man. He went out there today, and me as a coach, him coming off the injury he had, I'm more cautious than he is, but he has the right mindset right now, and, he's been a little vocal. He hasn't been as vocal as I want early on because, he hasn't been practicing. But now that he's practicing, he's stepped up his leadership, and the guys see him go out here and work, and they've seen him work to get back from rehab and those type of things. And I don't think anybody has ever came back this fast from an injury, that he has. But he's busting his butt, man, and I was happy to see him go out there today and bust his butt and lead the way.
What did you know about Jaden Jones 7 months ago?
Just as much as I knew about everybody else. I didn't know anything, and I think good for him is he had a clean slate. He had a clean slate, and he's just been working, man. He's probably one of the hardest workers on the team, and he's had some ups and downs in his careers with injuries, but he has the right mindset, and he works at it. And him and Jason Jenkins, they're cut from the same cloth. Those guys, all they do is work, man. They keep their mouth shut. They put their head down and work. And it's definitely rubbed off in the room.
Does it matter when a guy's got a story like that, like Jaden that's been through injuries but stuck with it and now is maybe can pay off?
Everybody that's successful has a story, right? It never comes easy, and that's one thing I preach to him is to trust his rehab, trust the training that he's put in, and he's going out there and working. And in the scrimmage they made him wear a knee brace. He didn't want to wear it, but he wore it anyway. And like I said, he has the right mindset right now. He's not thinking about what if. He's just going out there and playing.
Coach, your guys have seen a lot of ball as a player and as a coach. Obviously, a new role for you here at Florida State, but not a new role. Dating back to maybe even your Jacksonville days, what kind of tips, tricks and whatever can you rely on to bring to coach these guys up?
I think it's just, the next level preparation for them is recognizing formations, right? Really studying your opponent, knowing what type of pass set you're getting, but actually doing that and then going out there applying it, right? So right now we're breaking down our own O-line as if, they're our opponent, and our guys are going out there and trying to, put together the things that we work on in the meeting room. And, when they see success in it, obviously they'll make them prepare harder and, believe in the coaches. So our guys got the right mindset, man, and, I can tell them anything right now and they'll do it. So even if it's BS, they'll do it. So those guys are locked in right now, and they're just working and they're excited.
You feel yourself kind of like maybe bringing up some remember wins and film sessions?
No, they do it all the time. They give me crap about it. They pull up old YouTube videos and things like that. And, obviously I tell them I was the best ever, so they go and look for film on it. But I know we have a good time with it. And, they were like, "Oh, Coach, we're back in Jacksonville. Are you going to cry?" And then all this stuff. But we have a good time, man. And you always know that, your group as a position coach takes on your personality. So I'm used to the banter and the locker room talk. So we're having a lot of fun with it.
Austin Lane says hello, by the way.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I watch his little radio show sometimes too, so I'll be checking in on him.
Coach Deontay McCray, local guy, we're going to speak to him here in a minute. What are your impressions of him through camp?
He's been great, man. He's a grinder. He looks the part. He's long. He's how you want him to look. And with his versatility, being able to play nose tackle, 3 technique, and he can do anything. And that's the type of guys we look for in this defense. And he's always asking questions. He's a very smart guy. And he's excited to be here. I asked him today why his family didn't come to practice. He said he wanted to keep his focus. So I got to tell him to loosen up a little bit and let mom and dad come see him. But he's been great. He's just been working, and a lot of our guys right now have been working with the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. Everybody's been everywhere. So like I said, they're making my job tough.
Coach White said the linebackers are the heartbeat in his defense. Do you think maybe it starts a little bit ahead of them? And your guys setting the tone.
I love Coach White.
All good?